So in last lecture, we covered the merge sort and quick sort algorithm, right? And I already share assignment 1 on Classroom, right? So please refer that assignment and try to complete on before, I think I gave the date 3rd of July.
મેમ અસાઇનમેન્ટ પીડીએફ ફોર્મેટમાં જ લખીને દેવાનું છે ને?
હા, એ તમારે તમારી નોટબુકમાં લખી કાઢવાનું અને એના ફોટો પાડીને PDF બનાવીને અપલોડ કરી દેવાનું. Okay, so today we start with the next topic of this chapter, that is matrix multiplication, right? And for matrix multiplication, one algorithm is used in divide and conquer using divide and conquer strategy, that is Tressen's algorithm for matrix multiplication, right? So okay, now tell me, what is the equation to multiply two matrices? Consider there are two matrices A and B, each of size n, right? So what is the equation to multiply the two matrices? મેથ્સમાં કર્યું ને multiplication of two matrices. Consider બોલો.
First column, first row. First column, second row. Column, third row.
Okay, so if I have 2 cross 2 matrix, right, then equation is C is equals to A cross B, right? So it means C11, C12, C21, C22 is equals to A11, A12, A21, A22 multiply with B11, B12, B21, B22, right? And then multiplication gives us C11 is equals to first row multiply with first column of your second matrix, right? That will become the answer for the first element in your answer matrix, right? Like this. So if we perform the multiplication of 2 cross 2 matrix, right, using the simple multiplication method, right, so we require total 8 multiplication and 4 addition to get the final result matrices, right? Final result matrix apparently, if we want, right, using matrix simple matrix multiplication method, right? So there are total 8 multiplications, right, and 4 additions are there, right? So consider this example, right? Multiply these two matrices, right? So if we use simple multiplication method, so multiplication will be like this, right? Total 8 multiplication operation, right, and 4 addition operation, right? So to multiply 2 cross 2 matrices, total 8 scalar multiplication are required, that is 2 raised to 3. Right, like this. Total 4 multiplication, 8 multiplication, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 4 additions are used, right? So time complexity for this simple matrix multiplication operation is O n square, sorry, O n cube, right? Because we have total 8 multiplications, so 2 raised to 3, right? So we require, it takes time O n cube, right? But if we use this Tressen's algorithm for matrix multiplication, right, then we can perform the 2 cross 2 matrix multiplication using only using only 7 multiplication and 18 addition or subtraction, So how divide and conquer approach can be used to implement stress and multiplication, right? So first it will divide matrices into sub matrices, right? Then conquer. So use a group of matrix multiply equations, right? It will conquer and gives you solution for all the sub matrices, right? Then combine. It will recursively multiply sub matrices and get the final result of multiplication after performing required addition or subtraction, right? So the main idea is to save one multiplication on a smaller problem, then use the recursion, right? So main idea behind this stress and algorithm is to save one multiplication on a small problem and then use the recursion, right? Now consider these two matrices A and B, right? So step one in stress and algorithm is find the value of sub problems or divide the this matrix into number of sub matrix, right? So that is S1, S2, S3 up to S10, like this, right? So S1 is equals to B12 minus B2, right? Then S2 is equals to A11 plus A12, right? Then S3 is equals to A21 plus, there is one mistake here, that this is A22, right? Not A21. Okay, so S3 is equals to A21 plus A22 and S4 is equals to B21 minus B11, right? So likewise in step 1 perform different addition and subtraction operation, right? Then step 2 in stress and multiplication algorithm is right, multiply this S1, S2 up to S10 with some value of matrices, right? So just wait. Now it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
ઓકે, તો ક્યાંથી બાકી છે? આ બધું થઈ ગયું ને? આ બધું દેખાતું હતું ને? સ્ટેપ 1 થી બાકી
Step
છે.
1 થી બાકી.
ઓકે ઓકે. So in step 1 find the value of S1, S2, S10. આ બધું કઈ વેલ્યુ છે? જે આપણે સિમ્પલ મેટ્રિક્સ મલ્ટિપ્લિકેશન માં જે એડિશન એન્ડ સબટ્રેક્શન જે કરીએ, right? So એને simplified કર્યું છે, right? How? So S1 is equals to B12, right, minus B22, right? Second matrix is second column, right? So first element of your second column minus second element of your second column, right? Then S2 is equals to A11 plus A12, right? First row addition, right? S3 is equals to second row addition, right? And S4 is equals to first column subtraction, right? Same way diagonal addition, right, and diagonal subtraction. So A11 plus A22, B11 plus B22, right? Then A12 minus A22, then B21 plus B22, right? Then A11 minus A21 and B11 plus B12, right? You have to remember these equations, right? Now, next step in Stresan algorithm is perform the multiplication operation, right? So, A11, right, with is multiplied with S1. Now, value of S1 is this B12 minus B22, right? So, A11 multiply with S1 like this. So, we'll get the 7 multiplication operations, right? And all above operations involve only one multiplication, right? Now, step number 3 is get the final answer C, right? Where C11 is equals to P5 plus P4 minus P2 plus P6. Likewise, C12 is equals to P1 plus P2, C21 is equals to P3 plus P4, and C22 is equals to P5 plus P1 plus P3 plus P7. Right? So to get the final answer, no multiplication is required here. Right? So to get the final multiplication matrices C, right, we required only 7 multiplication instead of 8 multiplication in simple matrix multiplication algorithm, right? So it will reduce the main aim is fulfilled here, right? So we can get the final multiplication answer using only 7 multiplication instead of 8 multiplication, right? So therefore it is possible to multiply 2 cross 2 matrices using only 7 scalar multiplication, right? And let Tn be the time needed to multiply the n cross n matrices by recursive use of equation, right? So this will be the recursion equation, right? Tn is equals to 7t n by 2 plus gn, right? We will cover this analysis part later on after completion your second chapter, right? Just right now, just remember how Stresan multiplication algorithm is perform the multiplication operation, right? Now, so this is the end of your chapter, divide and conquer, right? In divide and conquer strategy, first we cover the general strategy of divide and conquer, right? How divide and conquer algorithm will work in 3 steps, right? Then we see the one problem which is solved by the divide and conquer strategy, that is binary search, right? And then we see another problem which is multiplying the large numbers using divide and conquer strategy, right? Remember this. Okay, then we perform 2 sorting algorithm using divide and conquer strategy, that is merge sort and quick sort, right? Then we cover the Stresan algorithm for matrix multiplication, right? So this is end of your chapter, right? 3, divide and conquer strategy, right? Now next chapter, that is chapter number 4, right? Divide and conquer strategy na jetla પણ algorithms છે, right? Analysis part of all the algorithms we will cover after your second chapter is completed, right? So let's move to our next chapter, next strategy, right? Next algorithm strategy, right, which give you optimized solution, right? So dynamic programming is also one technique, right, which is used to solve the problems with overlapping subproblems, right? Now what is overlapping subproblems, right? So in dynamic programming method, each subproblem is solved only once, right? In divide and conquer also we use the subproblem solutions, right? But in divide and conquer strategy, right, we find the all the sub problem solution. Either it is same sub problem or either it is different sub problem. Right? But in dynamic programming, right, each sub problem is solved only once, right? And the result of each sub problem is recorded in a table, right, which we can obtain a solution to the original problem, right? So what is the general method, or we can say typical approach uh, for dynamic programming, right? So dynamic programming is typically applied to optimization problem, right? And for each given problem, uh, suppose we may get any number of solution, right? We seek for the optimum solution. Optimum solution means minimum value or maximum value solution, right? And such an optimal solution becomes the solution for the given problem, right? So in exam, it may be asked the comparison of dynamic programming and divide and conquer, or what is the difference between divide and conquer strategy and dynamic programming strategy, right? So first uh, difference or comparison between divide and conquer strategy and dynamic programming is, okay, now who will tell me what is the general method of divide and conquer strategy? Divide and conquer strategy માં આપણે શું કરીએ? What is the general approach of divide and conquer strategy to find solution for any problem?
Divide a problem into small parts and then execute the small part.
Then okay, then divide the problem into number of sub problems, small sub problems, then
Merge them.
right. So in divide and solve the sub problems independently, then finally all the solution of this sub problem are collected together to get the solution of the given problem, right? Whereas in dynamic programming, right, many decision sequence are generated and all the overlapping sub instances are considered, right? In divide and conquer strategy, duplications in sub solutions are neglected. That is, duplicate solutions may be obtained, right? But in dynamic computing or dynamic programming, duplications in solution is avoided totally, right? So जो solution માં duplication આવે, so divide and conquer માં we may obtain the solution for the duplicate problems, right? But in dynamic computing, that duplication in solution is avoided totally, right? So that is another difference between divide and conquer and dynamic programming, right? Now next is divide and conquer is less efficient because of rework on solution, right? And dynamic programming is sufficient than the divide and conquer strategy, because in dynamic programming no need to calculate the duplicate sub problem solution, right? Then next is the divide and conquer uses top down approach for problem solving, right? Why divide and conquer use the top down approach? Because in divide and conquer we use the recursive method, right? And recursive method use the top down approach, right? And whereas in dynamic programming we use the iterative method. So dynamic programming uses the bottom up approach for problem solving, right? Now another comparison between divide and conquer and dynamic programming is divide and conquer splits its input at specific deterministic points, usually in the middle, right? Whereas in dynamic programming splits its input every possible splits point rather than at the particular point, right? After trying all splits points, it determines which splits point is optimal, because the general method or main purpose of dynamic programming is to find out the optimal solution. Optimal solution means minimum value or maximum value solution, right? So dynamic programming માં splits ક્યાંથી થશે, right? Particular કોઈ point થી split નહીં થશે, પણ ક્યાંથી point split થશે, right? કે જ્યાંથી આપણને optimal solution મળે. Whereas in divide and conquer strategy, usually we divide our problem from the middle, right? So these are the difference between or comparison between divide and conquer strategy and dynamic programming, right? Now what are the steps of dynamic programming? Right? So first let us understand the principle of optimality, right? Because dynamic programming algorithm obtains the solution using the principle of optimality, right? Because it is used to find the optimal solution, right? So to find out the solution, right, your dynamic programming algorithm use the principle of optimality. So let us understand what is principle of optimality, right? So a dynamic programming algorithm solves every sub problems just once, right? And then saves its answer in a table, right? So it avoids the work of recomputing the answer every time the sub problem is encountered, right? So whenever you use the dynamic programming approach, right, only one time it will solve all the sub problems, right, and store the sub problems answers into table, right? So whenever in future same sub problem is encountered, right, then no need to calculate or no need to solve that sub problem again, right? Because we have already stored answer of that sub problem in table, right? So the dynamic algorithm obtains the solution using the principle of optimality, right? Now principle of optimality states that in an optimal sequence of decisions or choice, each subsequence must also be optimal, right? So આનો મતલબ શું થાય કે whenever you find the optimal sequence of decision or choice, right, જ્યારે તમે કોઈ પણ select કરો, right, in that problem, right? So જે તમે sequence follow કરો, right, એની જે sub sequence છે બધી, that must be optimal also, right? Now when it is not possible to apply principle of optimality, right, it is almost impossible to obtain the solution using dynamic programming approach, right? Whenever you find some problem, right, and you want to try to solve that problem using the dynamic programming approach, right, and it is not possible to apply the principle of optimality, right, then it is also impossible to obtain the solution using the dynamic programming approach, right? So whenever you want to solve the problem using dynamic programming approach, right, so it is always possible to apply principle of optimality, then you will get the optimal solution, right? So let us understand the different problems, right, which we can solve using dynamic programming. Before that, first we understand the four major steps of dynamic programming, right? So first step in dynamic programming is characterize the structure of optimal solution. That means develop a mathematical notation that can express any solution and sub-solution for the given problem, right? Recursively define the value of an optimal solution, right? Second step is recursively define the value of an optimal solution, right? Third step is using the bottom-up technique, compute the value of optimal solution. For that you have to develop a recurrence relation that relates a solution to its sub-solution, right, using the mathematical notation, right? And fourth step is compute an optimal solution from the computed information, right? So let us see the one by one problem, then you can easily understand the concept of dynamic programming, right? To understand the dynamic programming, just remember that in dynamic programming, right, we divide the problem into number of sub problems, right? Then try to solve all the sub problems using principle of optimality, because dynamic programming is used to get the optimal solution, right? Now store answer of each and every sub problem into one table, right? So whenever in future computation, if same sub problem may appear, then you can use that table, right? No need to compute the sub problem again, right? And then find the optimal solution for the given problem, right? So first problem that we can solve using dynamic programming is binomial coefficient, calculating the binomial coefficient, right? So what is binomial coefficient, right? So if uh, sorry, if you want to make a two-person committee from a group of four people, how many different combinations are possible, right? If you want to make two-person committee from group of four people, total there are four people in one group, right? Out of this four people, you want to make committee of only two people, right? So what are the possible combination of these two people, right? So the number of way to do this is given by C of 4 comma 2, right? So consider four people. Just wait for 5 minutes. Uh, okay. Consider four people A, B, C, D. Now the different combination for making a committee of two person from these four are, right? Either you at a one time you can make committee of AB, then AC, AD, then CD, BD or BC. These are the possible combination, right, of two person from this four people A, B, C, D, right? So you can write down in mathematical notation like this: C of n k, C of n comma k is equal to NCK is equals to NCK, right? Is equals to n factorial divided by factorial n minus k factorial, right? So this is the equation, right, or formula for computing the binomial coefficient, right? So C of 4 2 is equals to 4C2 is equals to 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 4 minus 2 factorial. So that is, sorry, so that is 6, right? So spatially, the binomial coefficient C of n k counts the number of ways to form an unordered collection of k items chosen from a collection of n distinct items, right? So the definition of binomial coefficient is given as nck is equals to 1, right? Value of nck is equals to 1 if k is equals to 0 or k is equals to n, right? It means, just wait. Okay. NCK is equals to 1, right? If value of k is equals to 0 and value of k is equals to n, right? Now, if value of k is greater than 0, right, and less than n, then what is the formula to find the NCK? Right, NCK is equals to n minus 1 comma k minus 1, right? N minus 1 C k minus 1 plus n minus 1 C k, right? And if value of k is other than this, then NCK is equals to 0, right? So this is the function to find the binomial coefficient, right? Function C n comma k. So if value of k is equals to 0 and k is equals to n, then return 1, right? Else return C of n minus 1 comma k minus 1. So that is this plus C of n minus 1 comma k. Right, so that this is the equation to find the binomial coefficient, right? So let us understand how dynamic programming approach is used, right? So while computing C of nk, the smaller overlapping sequences get generated by the C of n minus 1 comma k minus 1 plus C of n minus 1 comma k, right? These overlapping smaller instances of problem need to be solved first, right? Then the solutions which we obtain by solving these instances will ultimately generate the final solution, right? So for computing the binomial coefficient, dynamic programming is used, right? Now if we record the binomial coefficients n and k values ranging from 0 to n and 0 to k, right, then table is look like this, right? This row indicate the 0 to n value and columns indicate 0 to k value, right? So whenever n is equals to 0 and k is equals to 0, it is 1. Whenever n is equals to 1 and k is equals to 0, it is 1, because for value of k is equals to 0, right, it will return 1, right? This value indicates the binomial coefficient value, right? So whenever k is equals to 0, binomial coefficient value will be 1, right? Now whenever value of k is equals to n, then also binomial coefficient value is equals to 1. So here k is equals to 1 and n is equals to 1. So it means k is equals to n. So binomial coefficient value is equals to 1, right? Same for n is equals to 2 and k is equals to 2. Same for n is equals to 3 and k is equals to 3 and n is equals to 4, k is equals to 4, like this, right? So whenever value of k is equals to 0, binomial coefficient value is equals to 1. Whenever value of k is equals to n, so binomial coefficient value returns 1, right? Atlu khava padi. Now next is find out the binomial coefficient for other values, right? So n minus 1, right? You have to put the value here. So n is equals to 2, right? So n minus 1, that is 1. So 1, so C1 comma K1. So that is this, right? Plus Cn minus 1 comma K, right? So this will 1 plus 1. So we'll get the 2, right? Like this. So this is the short method to find the binomial coefficient, right? So karwanu, if you want to put the binomial coefficient value in this, for value of k is equals to 1 and n is equals to 2, right? So previous value of n, C of n, right, and C of k value, right? અહીંયા જે પણ બે વેલ્યુ છે that will be added and you will get the final answer. Either you can put all the values in this equation, right? Solve this equation and write down the value here, right? Here n is equals to 2 and k is equals to 1. Put n is equals to 2 and k is equals to 1 here. Put all this value into this equation. So n is equals to 2, 2 minus 1, c1 comma 0. c1 comma 0. So c1 comma 0 is 1, right? Plus c2 minus 1, that is 1. c1 comma 1. So c1 comma 1 is 1, right? Add this two value and you will get the value for c21. ખબર પડી c21 ની વેલ્યુ કેવી રીતે આવી છે?
Yes.
Right? Likewise, find the all values for given value of n and k. Right? So basically, it is a structure known as Pascal's triangle. Right? So this algorithm is used for computing the binomial coefficient. Right? So this is the generalized solution using dynamic programming. Right? First, characterize the structure of an optimal solution. Then recursively define the value of optimal solution. Right? Then compute the value of optimal solution in bottom-up fashion. Then construct an optimal solution from the computed information. Right? So now all of you solve one binomial coefficient problem in your notebook right now, right? And give me the final answer. Right? So for binomial coefficient, write down all of you in your notebook, compute, just wait. Compute P of 4 comma 2 using dynamic programming. Right? So question is compute C4 comma 2 using dynamic programming. It means you have to find the binomial coefficient for 4 comma 2 where this is your question, right? Right? So right, and the solution તમે કેવી રીતે find કરશો? Here value of n is equals to value of n is equals to 4, right? And value of k is equals to 2. આટલું તમને આપ્યું છે, right? So first step શું હશે? P of 4 comma 2 is equals to k of n minus 1. What is the equation for find the binomial coefficient using dynamic programming? N minus 1 comma k minus 1 plus p of n minus 1 comma k. Right? So now put the value of n and k into this equation. C of is equals to C of n minus 1. So that is 4 minus 1, 3, comma, k minus 1, that is 2 minus 1, 1, plus C of n minus 1, that
Comma
is,
2.
hello?
3, comma 2.
Yes, 3, comma 2. Right? So હવે આપણી પાસે શું આવ્યું? C of 3, comma 1 plus C of 3, comma 2. So these are the two sub-problems or sub-instance of C of 4, comma 2. Right? Which is unknown. Which are unknown. Right? Because we don't have value of C and 3, comma 1 and C 3, comma 2. Right? So આપણે શું કર્યું? We divide our problem, that is C4, comma 2 into sub instance. Right? કયા બે sub instance આપણે divide કર્યું? C3, comma 1 and C3, comma 2. Right? So now next step is solve this sub instance or sub problem. Right? So first we solve the C3, comma 1. Right? So for C3, comma 1, our n is equal to 3 and k is equal to 1. Right? Again, apply this equation for value of n is equal to 3 and k is equal to 1. Right? So શું આવે છે? C is equal to, sorry, C three comma 1 is equals to C of n minus 1, that is 2, comma k minus 1, that is 0, right? Plus C of
2,
n
comma 1.
minus 1, that is 2, comma 1. Right? So again we get the new sub instance. Right? Now, as whenever value of k is equals to 0. So what is the binomial coefficient value whenever k is equals to 0?
1.
1. Right? Whenever k is equals to 0, then binomial coefficient value is equals to 1. So we can write 1 here. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this equation will become like this. Right? So next step is find the binomial coefficient for this sub instance. Right? પહેલા બધા sub instance અંદર અંદરના solve કરતા જવાનું. Then finally we get the answer for your original sub solution. Right? So now next is find the binomial coefficient for 2, comma 1 is equals to C of n is equals to 2, k is equals to 1. So C of 2, 1 is equals to C of n minus 1, that is 1, and k minus 1 is equals to 0. Right? તમે બુકમાં બધું બરાબર લખજો તમારી બુકમાં. Right? Write down each and every step. Right? For this, આવી રીતે પાછું આખું લખજો કે n is equals to 2, k is equals to 1, then C of 2, 1 is equals to C of n minus 1, k minus 1 plus C of n minus 1, k. So you will get C of 1, comma 0 plus C of n minus 1, that is 1, and k. Right? ખબર પડે છે બધાને?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right? Parallelly તમે તમારી નોટબુકમાં કરતા જજો તો વધારે ખ્યાલ આવશે. All of you solve this problem in your notebook right now. Then you will understand very easily. Right? So now C of 1, comma 0, again value of k is equals to 0. So 1 plus C of 1 1. It means n is equals to k. Right? Here value of n is equals to 1 and k is equals to 1. It means n is equals to k for this sub problem. Right? So what is the answer of this binomial coefficient?
1.
1. Right? So this is 2. Right? So we get the answer for this sub problem C21. Right? So we can use this value C21 into this equation. Yes, right? So put this value of 2 into this equation. Right? So is equals to 1 plus, right? તમે આની નીચે લખજો અહીંયા, right? હું અહીંયા change કરી દઉં છું. C2, 1 is 2. So that is equals to 3. Right? So we get the solution for C3, 1 also. Right? So we can write down the value of C3, 1 in this equation is equals to 3. Get? Right? હવે કોની કયા સબ પ્રોબ્લેમ નું સોલ્યુશન ફાઇન્ડ કરવાનું બાકી રહ્યું? C3, 2. Right? So all of you find the value of C3, 2 and tell me the answer. Right? એક સબ પ્રોબ્લેમ નું કેવી રીતે કરવાનું એ મેં તમને શીખવ્યું. Right? Now all of you find the value of C3, 2. Right? And tell me the answer. What is the value of C3, 2? For C3, 2, you have to put the value of n is equals to 3 and k is equals to 2 in the equation Cn minus 1, k minus 1 plus Cn minus 1, k. Right? So we'll get the two problems. Right? Again solve that two sub problems and finally you get the value of the C3, 2. At last give me the solution for C3, 2.
3.
Yes, C3, 2 is 3. બધાનું આવે છે 3? જેને નહીં સમજ પડી હોય then ask me right now. Right? Value of C3, 2 is 3. Right? If you don't get answer 3, then tell me right now. Right? So put this value 3 into this equation. So you will get the final answer 6. Right? So 6 is the final binomial coefficient value for C4, 2. Getting? Right? So here we use the dynamic programming approach. How? Because whenever we find the overlapping smaller instance of problem, it means કે જ્યારે પણ કોઈ પણ sub problems છે એ જો repeatedly use થતો હોય, right? So no need to obtain the solution for that sub problem again. Right? Store that answer into table, right? And use that answer whenever you require in your further calculation. Right? And by solving this instance, right, we ultimately generate the final solution. Right? So for this, right, for computing the binomial coefficient, in this way, the dynamic programming approach is used. Getting? કોઈને problem છે binomial coefficient માં?
No, ma'am.
Right? So we stop here. Right? We see the algorithm and analysis part in next lecture. Right? For binomial coefficient. Right? Calculation અને theory માં સમજ પડી બધાને?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right? So here I am sharing the link for your attendance. Right? Put your attendance in that form, then you can leave the meeting.